What is up, my Whovian homies? I am the Doctor Who Kid, and with Kate Stewart's impending return to Doctor Who, we're going to discuss the little history of this brief yet already significant supporting character, as well as her connection to the history of the programme. Kate Stewart is the Chief Scientific Advisor at the government organisation UNIT, where she is effectively the main woman in charge, or at least the one who's always having to deal with the Doctor's stuff. Her father, Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart, was the Brigadier who was originally in charge of UNIT back when it was first founded, and he was essentially a long-time ally for many different incarnations of the Doctor. Kate first appeared in an unofficial fan-made direct-to-video production called Downtime, where she helped her father, alongside Sarah Jane Smith, investigate the sinister goings-on of the New World University, which was being run by Second Doctor companion Victoria, who was unknowingly under the sway of the Great Intelligence. Kate would eventually make the jump over to the TV show proper in 2012's The Power of Three, where the 11th Doctor, Amy Pond and Rory Williams had to basically sit on their asses and do nothing when the planet Earth is suddenly swamped by billions of black cubes that just don't do anything. Basically, Kate Stewart was the main face of UNIT running the investigation, with the promise of trying to bring the organisation away from the militaristic direction it had been going in ever since Battlefield. But even though she didn't make the connection herself, the Doctor is able to work out that she is the daughter of his old friend, the Brigadier, in a very touching moment. Kate would then return in the 50th anniversary special, The Day of the Doctor, where she was investigating something weird going on with paintings, which actually turned out to be heralding a Zygon invasion. Kate herself would end up being a prisoner of the Zygons, but managed to break out, and thus there was a big confrontation in the Black Archives. But, thanks to the presence of 3 different Doctors, they're able to form a peace treaty between the humans and the Zygons, with a little help of selective amnesia. Kate would return 3 more times in the tenure of the next Doctor, Peter Capaldi, where she first helped him battle against Missy and a new legion of Cybermen converted from the remains of dead humans. Then after that, she enlisted Clara's help in locating a missing Doctor because he had basically gone off the grid following an unknown confrontation with a young Davros that had basically shamed him to the point of giving up his sonic screwdriver. Also, Missy was there again, go figure. And then her biggest contribution to the 12th Doctor's era was in the 2-part Zygon invasion / Zygon inversion story, where basically that peace treaty I mentioned earlier was breaking down thanks to a Zygon splinter group, who basically wanted to live as themselves instead of constantly hiding in human shape, and basically wipe out humanity and conquer the planet and all that stuff. Things got very tense during the whole ordeal, especially since the Doctor was trying to stop Kate from fighting back and potentially devolving the whole thing into a full-on war. And following a very intense confrontation in the Black Archive with the Osgood box, the Doctor gives a big speech and ultimately is able to keep the peace going. Hooray! Kate would spend the next couple of years being relegated to off-screen mentions only, as UNIT didn't really have much to do throughout series 10 and 11. However, in 2019, we found out a very surprising truth. As the Doctor attempts to call Kate Stewart for help in dealing with a Dalek, only to find out that the British government has apparently suspended UNIT over funding issues. So yeah, for the next few years we basically had no UNIT. And then in 2021's Flux epic, we found out there was a sinister reason for all of this, as an alien crime lord called the Grand Serpent had been using time travel to infiltrate UNIT history on behalf of the Sontarans, basically wiping out key figures that would get in the way of his climbing up the ranks of authority. However, in 2017, Kate was able to work out what he was doing, but was forced to go underground after the Grand Serpent blew up her house, where she spent the next few years in hiding, fighting back from the shadows, until the Flux event brought forth an invasion by the Sontarans, where she was able to help the Doctor and a whole bunch of other people, all in dealing with the apocalyptic Flux event, and kick the Sontarans off the planet, and deal with the Grand Serpent all at the same time. Kate would return one more time in the show for the 13th Doctor's Swan Song, where we found out that she has basically been rebuilding UNIT, and had even hired some of the Doctor's former companions, mainly Tegan and Ace, as freelancers, furthering her ambitions of getting the organisation away from its more militaristic route. Here she enlisted the Doctor's help in dealing with a weird situation involving paintings. Hey, just like the 50th. Except this time it turned out to be one part of a multifaceted plan by the Master in order to steal the Doctor's body or something. There really were a lot of moving parts in that. Unit HQ was attacked by Cybermen and Kate was nearly converted, but thankfully Tegan and Ace were able to save her, although they did end up blowing up the unit building in the process. Kate Stewart will be back this Saturday alongside the rest of UNIT in order to face off another cataclysmic cataclysm against the return of the Toymaker in The Giggle. And we've also had it confirmed that Kate and UNIT will be continuing to appear long into the reign of the 15th Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa. And there's even rumours of a UNIT spin-off, though we'll still have to wait and see for that one. Either way, it looks like the future of Doctor Who is as bright as ever, and Kate Stewart will continue to be a key part of it. And that is pretty much it for Kate Stewart and UNIT. So long, folks. I have been the Doctor Who Kid, and next time we're going to discuss the background of the Doctor's greatest adversary,